Good morning, grade 8s. Okay, so today is Monday, June the 1st, and this week we are going to be reviewing measurement. We are going to be talking about, today in particular, we're going to be talking about circumference and area of a circle. So your work today is going to include those two basic things, and we are building from today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, we are building towards our test on Thursday. Okay, so that test is going to need to get printed off. We'll give it to you as a PDF, and you have to print it off. We'll do the 9 o'clock start, we'll do the 12 o'clock submit, and go from there. Okay, so you need to figure out a way to have that printed. It worked last time to have you just do the work on the computer because we were doing math that all you were doing was multiplying, right? So the little x becomes your multiplication symbol. You can find the equal sign without too much trouble. And the percent key is easy to locate. But this time we're going to be using pi. We're going to be using squares. All of these things are difficult on a keyboard, okay? So we have to print, we have to write by hand, and we have to submit with pictures, okay? I do want to have this test as part of your report card mark. So it's going to be an important one. So we're going to review today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and then test is Thursday, and then this week is done for math. Okay, so here we go into our review. All right, so we're going to start with the area of a circle. Just looking at this, we've got some things here we need to know. We need to know the diameter. So the diameter goes through the center point from one end to the other end, full distance. The radius is only from the center point to one edge, okay? Here, this is our picture of pi, and pi, for our purposes, is going to be worth 3.14. This is the formula that you all need to fully memorize so that you are able to answer questions. So if they give you the radius, if they say radius equals 7 centimeters, then you will use this formula. You're going to write area equals pi times radius squared. Then underneath it, you're going to line up your equal sign. You're going to write the A again. And then you're going to start substituting. So this is the second line of math. It's worth marks. Where it has the pi symbol, you are going to write 3.14. This is multiplication, right? We don't show it with the multiplication sign, but it means multiplication. So the radius is 7, and that's going to be 7 squared. The third line of math, we're copying out the 3.14. We're copying out that multiplication sign, and here we have 7 squared. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, and then the next line of math, I'm going to get out my calculator here. Got to type in my password. All right, here we go. So it's going to be 3.14 multiplied by 49 equals, and I have 153.86. Okay, now if the question's asking me to round to something, then I need to do that as well. But this is area, which means this is going to be area squared, centimeters squared. Okay, so it might say round to 1 decimal place, in which case you're going to have one more line of math here, and we're going to look at the 8. Okay, then this is the one that we're rounding to. We're going to say round to the nearest tenth. Here it is with the 8. We look beyond it to that key number, which is 6, which is a big number. So that means the 8 is going to round up to a 9. So it's going to be 153.9 centimeters squared, okay? And that is for the area of a circle. Now, circumference of a circle. This is the distance all the way around the outside of that circle, okay? It's like perimeter, only it's circumference because it's a circle, okay? But it's the same idea. We've got two formulas here. You can go circumference equals pi times diameter, or you can go circumference equals 2 pi r, depending which information you're given. So if you're given the diameter, you would use this formula. If you're given the radius, you would use this formula. Over here, if you had been given the diameter, if you had been told diameter equals 14 centimeters, you would have had to go, oh, I need to turn that into a radius because this formula doesn't have diameter. It only has radius. So if the diameter is 14, then the radius is going to be half of 14, which would be 7. Okay, so that little piece of calculation could also be worth a mark on a test if you are given the diameter instead of the radius and told to calculate area. You have to make sure you catch that, or else everything that you do will be wrong. Okay, so back over here to our circumference of a circle. So we're trying to find this outside distance all the way around. These are our two formulas. So again, it's that concept of writing out the formula, that's a mark. So let's say we're going to go circumference equals 2 pi r. And they're telling us r equals 9 centimeters. So then this is the formula we're going to use. So again, we're lining up the equal sign. We're filling in the numbers now. So it's going to be 2 times. Pi is the 3.14. Multiplication sign, and then the radius is going to be 9. Okay? And then we can just get out our calculator. And I again have to type in my code, so it takes me that extra second. All right, here I am with my calculator. So I'm going to go 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 9 equals sign 56.52 centimeters. Now, this is only the distance around the outside edge, so it is not squared because it's just that line of distance that goes all the way around. But if they were to say, round this to the nearest tenth, then we know that means 1 decimal place. So we can round that and go 56.5 centimeters. Why is it only 5 and not rounded up? Because this 2 is little, right? That's my key number. So I am looking at that number, one beyond the number that I'm supposed to be rounding to, in order to figure out how to do that rounding. Okay, so all of your work for today is the same kind of work, okay? Make sure that you are doing the equal signs lining up, that you're writing out the so we know it's circumference or area, you're writing out that letter, that's important, that you're getting that formula in the first line, that you're using your information, you've got it written there on the side, that you're substituting in for the second line, that you're doing the calculation, you're including the units, and then if you need to round, you're doing the rounding properly, okay? We practiced rounding last week. Now it's going to pay off on this test this week, okay? Because there will be absolutely some rounding questions in there as well. All right, everybody. So your assignment is to do questions 1 through 9. Have a great day.